It's a bit scary sharing that with everybody. It's all very hypothetical because I know what I'm like, and it's definitely not going to be like that. You'll notice as you get to know me that I have taken over the whole house, and I don't know why, but I have been so motivated since we moved down here. I don't actually have a clue what I'm doing. I have genuinely wanted to start a YouTube for so long. I love watching YouTube and I truly have learned so much over the time. So I thought, whilst I'm on my sewing pattern journey, why not take you with me? You might learn something. Hopefully you can help me, because who knows what I'm doing, but we will get there together and it's fun. Now on to creating a fabric sewing pattern, and I'm truly so excited to share this with you all. This is going to be my fabric crown. It started out really because Eleanor's first birthday, I wanted something to keep forever that I can use each time, every year, change the numbers. So I made some bunting, which is my first pattern currently on Etsy. I was quite daunted really if to actually release that sewing pattern or not, because you kind of think, when I was selling it, it was my best seller. It's a bit scary sharing that with everybody, but it's truly been the best decision that I've ever made. The response from everybody has been, actually overwhelming. Facebook especially, I don't even know what happened, and I don't even know what's still happening, but we will take it, and I am forever grateful. So now my next pattern is going to be the fabric crown. I'm actually sorry if I sound out of breath, but I am 35 weeks pregnant, so I am out of breath. I've come up the stairs because my office part is the landing. The more I speak, the more I realise I can't actually speak, and I'm very out of breath. So I'm sure you'll accept that, because it's not me, it is little baby girl that we're due to have in a few weeks' time. But yeah, very exciting. On my to-do list today, I want to create the step-by-step tutorial for my fabric crown and hopefully film some bits in between so that I can use for social media. The last few weeks I've really tried pushing social media, and I tried to be consistent, I tried to engage more. I feel like it hit a bit of a lull, and it's quite demotivating when it's like that, but since Facebook took off, that gave me the boost and motivation to actually keep going. Now I'm trying to get that across Instagram and TikTok. Quite aware that in a few weeks I probably won't be able to do anything. Hopefully I can get it to a point where I've got enough content built up. Everything's scheduled, everything's organised. It's all very hypothetical because I know what I'm like, and it's definitely not going to be like that. But if we aim high, we will get there. So I've created the fabric crown sewing pattern on Illustrator. Now it's on canvas. Just need to print that out, and we will go downstairs onto the dining table, which is my sewing place. You'll notice as you get to know me that I have taken over the whole house. I have my office, which is the computer, which is on the landing. Then my sewing space is on the dining table. I don't think my other half is 100% happy, but who has a choice, because I just do it. And I say it's for my small business, so then you can't be negative about that because I'm trying. I hope you enjoy. Sorry for being out of breath and for waffling. I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I need somebody to tell me that this is not a sign to stop doing everything that I'm doing and scrap sewing patterns and designing and having a small business. I have been trying to be productive for the last 40 minutes and it's not responding. Please help me. We finally got there. That printer drives me insane. It actually turned out it was my fault. There was 2 of the same printer settings and I selected the wrong one. So it wasn't even connected to the printer, which is why I was waiting there for 40 minutes. So printed out the draft fabric crown. I'm pretty certain that it's going to be all right because, like I said, it was from a pattern that I already used. I just recreated it in Illustrator and then added all of my branding in Canva. I've never actually made a pattern which runs over 2 pages. Hopefully this layout works okay. Also, welcome to my sewing studio. As you can tell, this is actually the dining table. I created this banquette seating to have more storage. We've got a 3-bedroom house, and when we started doing this, we kind of knew we've got the spare room, but at one point it's going to turn into a nursery, which of course it is. We needed somewhere that we could have our own space and then also use it for storage. So it was a really fun project. It was, again, we learned a lot, but way cheaper than if we were going to get somebody in to make the corner seating. So all of this has got storage underneath. Of course, I take up most of it. So this side is all sewing stuff. I do my sewing downstairs, and I don't know why, but I have been so motivated since we moved down here. I think it's because when we were renovating renovating. I was in the spare room using that as craft, but we were also using it as our front room, whilst everywhere was completely gutted down here. So because it's quite a small room and we were so intense in there and living upstairs, it's made me not really want to go in there at all for anything other than to redecorate, make it completely fresh, ready for the baby, and we're good to go. But yeah, so lucky that we have this space, and I do love it. What I'm going to do first, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to sew today before I pick Eleanor up, because I spent so much time trying to print it out on the wrong printer settings. Yeah, I've not got a lot of time left, so I'm just going to cut out the template, put it all together, and then I'll start preparing all of the fabric. But yeah, in terms of just whilst I'm slowly cutting this out, like I said, I'm Bethan. So Ilani Design is a little small business that I set up a couple of years ago now. So Eleanor, who's my only daughter at the minute, she is 2.5. And when I was on maternity leave, I set up Ilani Design to create her first birthday presents, to have them as keepsakes. It then kind of got me into selling fabric crowns, and I'd personalise them, add pom-poms onto them, and the collection kind of grew from there really. And I genuinely love doing it. I love sewing, I love creating stuff. The main reason why I switched, I think, is just because it does get quite overwhelming, to be honest, like the amount of stuff that you have to do. And then when you get an order, because I couldn't personalise it, because I couldn't prepare it beforehand because everything was personalised, I'd always have to make it, which is amazing, but working full time and then having a toddler as well, it's very overwhelming. I think as well on social media, I kept seeing a lot of small businesses close up because of different circumstances, which is so sad. And inside me, you know, when you see a message all the time and you think, is that the universe telling me something? Like, maybe I need to try something else because I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm getting burnt out quite quickly. Not very sustainable for me and my situation. What can I do in between? I think adding to that as well, I love creating stuff and I'm quite impulsive and probably not very patient. So I'll make one thing and then make it a few times and then think, right, what next? What can I do next? What can I add to it? And I think that's where sewing patterns is, I feel like it's my calling. Like, I've had quite a lot of ideas over the years, but this is probably the most passionate. I mean, the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you is way out of my comfort zone, and it makes me think, if I'm willing to do this for sewing patterns and to help my small business of where it is, I think this is the right one for me. And there's so many different ideas and avenues that I can go down that's all linked, and I'm truly so excited. So yeah, that's why I changed. We will definitely go into that in another video. Do you even call it video? I feel very old saying video, and that I was born many years ago where I'm not in with the lingo, but it is a video. We'll take it. We'll go through like an in-depth, because it is nice to share, and YouTube has got me through so many different things, especially crafting, new skills, small business life. I love seeing stuff like that, and I think that's the route that I'd like to go down with my channel, to show you like an insight of how I do things and my learning journey, some sewing tips in between, but more, I say day to day, I don't do this all day every day. So yeah, any questions that you have, or if it's something that you're interested in, definitely let me know, because it'll be nice to have a little crafting community built up. I feel like it's the hardest thing, actually, meeting people with the same sort of views or the same sort of interests, unless you constantly go to different classes, which would be amazing, but it's not very feasible. I never know what to search to find that community. I think because I'm new into it all, especially like with the sewing pattern side, I never know what to search or how to find new people. So yeah, who knows, hey? I've just had my first rookie fail of running out of storage on my iPhone, so I really need to sort that out, because I've just filmed everything where I was genuinely having a bit of a heart-to-heart and I had no storage and it stopped recording. I'm not going to use these as stumbling blocks. They are going to motivate me to be more organised, to be more structured, to know what I'm talking about, And I was gonna say get more storage, but I need to get more storage. So yeah, I've cut out my pattern pieces. We've got the 2 larger sizes, so you'll join these up together to make the crown size, and then same with the smaller one. I have a template as well for some numbers. These match the garland numbers as well, so it makes a nice little set. So you could do happy 18th birthday or happy 1st birthday. You can then have a crown with the matching one on the front and make some cake toppers as well. Loads of different stuff with you. It's just numbers, but honestly, there's so many different things that you can do that are really nice little keepsakes or nice little gifts for friends. I think all of my friends have a fabric crown. It doesn't matter what the age. So I've added a little diamond onto the pattern. So I've just joined them up now, so then at least the line is seamless, and then you've got your crown shape. Look at that. That's my first pattern. In terms of for you all to enjoy. Yeah. Oh, it's sad, isn't it, when you get so proud? Do you ever just do stuff and you think, I've made it. I've really done it. I've done this all by myself. And then you think, oh wait, it's just 2 pieces of paper that I'm sticking together, but I honestly feel so happy with myself. So we will just stick with the 1, 2, 3 for now. I think that'll help gauge an idea of how the pattern's working, and then go from there really. See how it is, and then once I'm happy with those, once I've made those up, I'll try all of the others, put all the instructions together, and then we'll have another pattern. Oh, it's actually so exciting. It's so exciting. So for the crown, I've done the template, which is what I've printed out here, and now I just need to move on to doing the photo tutorial. I've got my fabric ready. I'm gonna go for this floral fabric, which is a Liberty fabric. It is the, what's it called? Flower Show Midsummer. And is it just me, or is this ultimate ABBA vibes? Like, come on. I think ABBA are one of my favourite bands. I think that's definitely come down from my mum, but I feel like that is ABBA all over. Maybe that's why I love it so much. Imagine a jumpsuit in that. I can't sew jumpsuits, but if you can, please sew a jumpsuit in this just so I can see it. Yeah, so I've got a ABBA fabric, a navy blue fabric as well. The nice thing about the crowns is that you can reverse it, so if you do a patterned fabric on both sides, then you've got 2 in 1. So you could have a name on the front, or just a floral on the front and more of a gingham on the back. You know, it's nice how versatile it can be, but I'm just going to go with, for ease for the tutorial, a plain lining fabric, a patterned main fabric. I do like to interface as well the main fabric, just so that any of the wadding doesn't come through, especially if you do get more of a quilted wadding rather than a compressed. You can see some of the fibres over time through the cotton, so I think this helps prevent it, and obviously it gives it more shape. And then I have the wadding which I use. This is actually I think it's a budget polyester curtain lining. So it goes in between when you're making the curtains, but I feel like this works so well. It's from Abercarn, if anybody is watching from the UK that wants to purchase it. So Abercarn is a local fabric shop or craft store. Yeah, I think this works so well. It's compressed enough where it doesn't cause any bearding, especially for the garlands that I make as well. It's super, I think it's about £6 per metre. Yes, it doesn't beard, but then also with it being compressed, I found that you can struggle when you're cutting out the fabric because you've got 3 layers, but you don't seem to get any problems with this one, so that is definitely my go-to for anything. Just going to lay it out. I'm going to test it out first just to write down all of the notes of the steps that I'd like to take. I can always go through it in my head, but this at least helps me keep on track so that when I come to do the written tutorial, I've got all the stages that I need. And hopefully everything works out okay and I can get that launched. I'd like to launch this weekend. Not sure how unrealistic that is because I'm off today, back in work Thursday, Friday, and then obviously it's the weekend. I think the reality of having any sort of small business when it's not your full-time job, and I have a toddler, and I'm 35 weeks. Not sure if that makes me a bit crazy, but hey ho. Yeah, a lot of my sewing time and my small business planning and putting the patterns together, replying to any sort of social media comments that I've received, that's all done in the morning. So I usually wake up about 5 o'clock, out of my body clock really, and stop around 6:30. I do get the bulk of it done, I think, because I'm definitely more of a productive person in the mornings. If I left it until after work, I know that I would never get anything done because I just want to lie on the sofa, watch Married at First Sight and then go to bed. Yeah, I think you definitely got to be able to juggle it. A lot of people have asked, like, how can I manage it all? I love doing this. Like, it genuinely brings out, to be able to be creative, like, genuinely is more of like my therapy, and it gets me through the days. So with that, you naturally make time, and figuring out when works for you. A lot of people are night owls. I am absolutely not. I'm ready for bed at 7 o'clock, and I like to wake up early. There's something about early morning start where you know everybody else is sleeping. It's very silent. It's just like a nice vibe around you, and you've got a fresh mind because you've just woken up. I feel a lot more productive. But find what works for you, and you genuinely can fit in the time if it's something that you want to do. The ultimate small business life as a parent. When Eleanor usually sleeps for about another hour, but she's woken up. We've changed her bed. She was in a cot up until a few days ago, so now because she's in a normal size bed, she can climb out. So as soon as you hear the door go and she's standing at the top of the stairs going, "Mummy." So we cut out our fabric, cut out the template. I've got some cotton twill which I'll use for the ties. That's as far as I've got. So yeah, I'll probably have to leave it there. I know it's not very far, but like I said, because I'm working the next 2 days, I'm not 100% sure when I'm gonna get to film this when it's daylight, so it'll probably be on the weekend. But I thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'm back in the next few days and we will carry this on. But that is reality. Like, that literally is my reality, where I try and do it in that time. Sometimes you can get so much done, sometimes you really can't, because Eleanor will wake up when she wants to wake up. But yeah, I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe. Feels very strange even saying that, but please let me know what you think, anything that you'd like in the future. And thank you so much for watching. Like, it really does mean a lot, even from shorts. When you get a view on a short, I'm like, how do people even want to watch what I want to make? But yeah, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.